What up? What up? What's good, YouTube? What up? What's up? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's good with y'all, man? You know what I mean? How y'all doing? How's everybody doing and everything, man? Top of the top, man. I'm just chilling. I just about to just jump on here real quick, do a little quick live real quick, man. Like an hour at the most, man. So, I was seeing a story, man, and I want to get into this, man. You see what I'm saying? And check it out. I got a couple other things scheduled. You see what I'm saying? So what is going on, my good people? You know what I mean? I'm just over here just holding it down, man, and you know, trying to see what's good with the family. All right. So yeah, man. So this is a story that came out of Jacksonville, Florida, man. It was a brother was driving, whatever, got stopped or whatever, traffic infraction, whatever, and then the video they show him, the sheriff beat him down, and the sheriff's department is being investigated right now as we speak. So I wanted to get into this real quick. Y'all didn't mind me asking. If y'all don't mind me showing this, you see what I'm saying? What's going on, fam? So here it is. Hold up. Oh, you know what? Oh, what am I doing? What the hell? Oh, oops, my bad. Hold up. Hold up. Damn it. Hold up. All right, let me play this video real quick, man.
Applications and applies.
He's beating and punching William McNeil Jr., who says it happened back in February, but he's releasing the video now. Here's a portion of it.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Okay. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Huh? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. No, don't. Get on the ground.
Well, we don't know what happened before the camera started.
You know what I don't like?
But civil rights attorneys Harry Daniels and Ben Crump are
You
now
don't know what happened
representing
before the cameras, man. What is there to know? What is there to know before the cameras, bro? What if he could have possibly done to get beat down like that? But see, that's what I don't like. You're a civil servant. You work for us. So what right do you have to beat down on somebody like that? For one, that now that would cause that as domestic terrorism. That's not police brutality. Police brutality is something minor. Then something minor. Doc Waltz, what up? Then domestic terrorism. But domestic terrorism is something serious and something far advanced. You see what I'm saying? But see, if they know that they were to get charged with stuff like domestic terrorism stuff like that, and we were to accuse them of stuff like that, that would be a more severe punishment for them. You see what I'm saying? That would go farther versus police brutality. That's why I don't use that word police brutality. That shit is domestic terrorism. For one, he told you he has every right. And see, when they show these videos like this show you and it shows other races and shows other people that we have no rights. Because you notice it's never justified as, well, wait up. Why he did it with everything within his right. He don't have to get out his car. It's a traffic infraction. I don't have to get out my car. As a matter of fact, I'm challenging the law, or I'm challenge because all it is a ticket, right? I'm challenged, so that lets you know that their intentions are something bigger than that. I'm challenging you to something else. I'm actually challenging his law. I want you to call see what's wrong with them doing the protocol and calling their watch commander, which is the sergeant. What's wrong with that? This dude, this guy asked you for a superior officer. What is wrong with that? Instead, the way they did it was really aggressive. These people don't have no people talking about, oh, they're scared. The police ain't scared of these people. Ain't scared of us, man. They do it with the intent to kill or injure you bodily harm. That's all it is. And I don't understand why people don't see this by now. But see, we're so desensitized by this. Dark Boss, what's going on? And they'll be like, oh, people should just comply. Like, motherfuckers do be compliant, and we get you done like this. That's why we're upset. It's like other people will get treated like this, then, you know what I'm saying? You got them getting, see, when other people get done like this, they get money and funds and shit like that, and resources allocated to them. But when we get treated like that, people say, get over it, or you're complaining. That's the difference between us and them. You got these migrants, oh, man, we this and that, oh, man, we scared to go to work, man, we scared to come out and stuff. Meanwhile, they're getting thousands of dollars through these cities and these counties and shit allocated to them. Like, but we get done like this and we don't get nothing, or we just get killed or something like that, or we get arrested or get charges pinned on us. It's like, I don't know, man. I mean, these people violate your human rights in front on camera for the world to see, but yet there's still nothing to see here. But meanwhile, other groups could break the law and they still get funding and they get rewarded for breaking the law. But meanwhile, you get treated a certain way without breaking the law. You see that how we get treated and how they get treated is totally different. You get punished for not breaking the law, and people sympathy and empathy like as if you were breaking the law. There was a manhandling him and grabbed him by the neck and all that, and pulled him out of the car like as if he was breaking the law. He's within every right to ask for a watch commander or a sergeant. They make it seem like dude, they just treat us like we not Americans, like we not people, like we animals and shit. I mean, enough is enough with this shit to me. I think this shit is like enough is enough. Let's play the rest of this.
McNeil. In a statement, they said it should be obvious to anyone watching this video that William McNeil wasn't a threat to anyone. He was calmly exercising his constitutional rights, and
see, but this desensitizes people.
They beat him for it. Rena Roy joins us now. She's covering the story for us and the release of this video. All right, sort of take us through, Rena, what we just saw.
Yeah, well, Kira, the video is difficult to watch, and it seems to pick up shortly after William McNeil Jr. was pulled over by cops. Now, remember, this was back in February, and at first you hear him ask,
Why is this all coming out right now, though? This was since February, right? It makes you ask questions. What's really good? You know what I'm saying? Well, it makes you really ask yourself these questions. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. It makes you really. Why did you just do that? That was weird. It makes you ask these really critical questions. You know what I'm saying? It makes you ask these critical questions.
Asking why he was pulled over. And they say he didn't have his headlights on, and he says there's no rain. A sheriff's deputy responds, it doesn't matter. That's when McNeil is asked to show his hands, which he does. He's also asked to get out of the car, so he asks to speak with his supervisor. That sheriff's deputy then breaks his window. You actually see the glass shatter onto McNeil, then the sheriff's deputy punches him. He's pulled out of the car, pushed to the ground, and we see multiple officers beating him as he's placed under arrest, Kira.
But my thing is, why would you punch the window like that with your bare fist, right? That's not proper protocol. Who does that? What does this do? Sylvester Stallone or something? What is this, an action movie or something? Why would you do that?
Heard from McNeil, Rena? Was he charged with any?
But see, and then he punches him. See, nobody. Why are they not talking about how he punched him in the face though? You get struck in the face for what? I don't know. That's why I don't have sympathy or empathy, man. I'm just a different kind of person, dude. I just hold people accountable. I stay on my side. You can stay on your side, man, because that's why that's why most of these police agencies hire white police. It's not a coincidence. You hire the right people for the job, right? The right terrorists. You see what I'm saying? If they're not terrorizing and beating on people as police and badges, then they're shooting up schools and they're mass shooters. Wow. What an equation, right?
Anything?
What an equation.
Well, court records, Kira, show that McNeil is facing a slew of charges, and I'll just read through them here. The first is resisting arrest without violence to his or her person. He's also charged with
they hit you with charges. How they hit you? What is he getting charged for? Before you even place him under arrest, you didn't place him under arrest the whole time. But then you beat him down and pull him out the car. Now he's resisting. What was he resisting? A ticket? But see, it's a traffic infraction though. So the law that you violated supposedly was a traffic infraction. So what does that cause you to get how does that cause a felony? How does that cause a resisting arrest charge? I've gotten hit with a resisting. That shit's some bullshit. This shit is some bullshit, man. But you can't. They don't look like no psyop to me. I mean, it could possibly be a psyop, probably, because why did they release it 3 months, months later? But at the same time, it really looked like they whooped his butt. But see, and that's how I don't like how the news media plays this stuff. I mean, that's good they playing it, and it's good they're showing it, but they don't show white people getting beat up and other races get beat up like this. My bad. You don't even see white people get beat up and done like this by police anyway. You see the police running away from white people, whether they got a gun or not.
Possessing not more than 20 grams of marijuana, driving while his license was suspended, not wearing a seatbelt, and no headlights in the rain.
So he gets charged for getting beat up. Damn. Exactly. They work for the corporation usually, right? You're so right, Doc Boss. That's true.
Sentenced to and served 2 days in jail. We haven't heard from McNeil himself, but his attorneys are saying that they are disgusted, but that they're not surprised. They argue that McNeil was calmly exercising his constitutional rights, and they beat him for it.
Well, what is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office saying, and what do we know about these officers that were involved? There were a number there on the scene.
Yeah, definitely a number of them there, Akira. Well, as you pointed out, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, they have opened an internal investigation into this incident. And they sent us a statement saying, quote, "We hold our officers to the highest standards and are committed to thoroughly determining exactly what occurred." Now, when it comes to the officers that were involved, we really don't know a lot at this point. A public information officer that we reached out to said that they could not comment, given that this is an ongoing investigation, Kira.
Well, we will definitely stay on the investigation as well. Rena Roy, thank you.
What if you can create your own website by saying, "This is what I want"? With Wix, you can.
Hold on. Let's play another.
All right, to Florida now.
CBS.
Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Office investigating newly released video of a traffic stop.
It
It happened in February. It shows officers actually hitting a man in the face after they broke his car window and then pulled him out of his vehicle during a traffic stop. So I want to go to CBS News correspondent Chanel Collins, the CBS newsroom in New York, with more about what this video shows us and now what the victim is doing in response. Chanel.
Well, Julia, you mentioned right
There
off
should
the
be a law, honestly, there should be a law to where police can't act like only if you're violent or if you have a gun or if you see what I'm saying, got a knife or something or showing some kind of there should be a law that police should not act like this and be able to do anything like this during a traffic stop at all. It should be a minor infraction, period. It should not be like that. Like, I thought that the whole point of this being a lower crime was me getting the lower punishment, right? Like, how is it a lower crime, but then at the same time, you get the higher punishment? You get the felony, you get the beat upside your head. You see what I'm saying? I don't get that. You see what I'm saying?
top, this video was actually shot back in February, but was just released yesterday by William McNeil Jr. Now, before we show you more of the video, I do want to warn you that some people may find this video shocking and disturbing. In it, you will see the driver who hit record on his phone after he says he was pulled over by an officer, claiming that he needed to have his headlights on during some cloudy weather conditions. Watch this.
There's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your
Why
supervisor?
does he got to step out the car though? That's why I don't be understanding that shit. Step out the car. Why?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right.
No.
So, Jules, the driver said that he questioned the stop and then asked for a supervisor, as you heard there. That, he alleges, is when things escalated. An officer is then seen breaking the car window and then hitting the driver in the face. The driver then puts his hands up and then asks what's going on before another punch is thrown. The driver is pulled out of the vehicle and then taken to the ground. Now, according to our affiliate station in Jacksonville, Florida, the driver suffered a concussion, a chipped tooth, and 9 stitches. Now, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office released a statement today saying they are aware of this video, and they now say they've launched an investigation into this incident, adding, quote, "We hold our officers to the highest standards and are committed to thoroughly determining exactly what occurred." Notably, though, Jules, the Sheriff's Office did not say whether any of the officers who were involved in the incident have been put on leave during that investigation. I can also tell you McNeil has now retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and late this afternoon, his legal team released a statement that says, in part, what happened to William McNeil Jr. is a disturbing reminder that even the most basic rights, like asking why you've been pulled over, can be met with violence for Black Americans. It goes on to say this wasn't law enforcement.
Yeah, being corrupt. Yeah, you know something's funny. Yeah. Man, you know he has a funny reputation.
It was brutality. All video from JSO should be released to ensure there is transparency for McNeil and the community. We demand full accountability from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and justice for William McNeil Jr. And coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office will hold a press conference to discuss the video, where we, of course, hope to learn more about their response to all of this. Back to you.
Certainly, we'll continue to follow this. Chanel, thank you.
So, How long does it really take to get Nuvia's permanent teeth?
24 hours.
It's literally the day of surgery. You get the implants placed. We get the scans. We get all the records. We send this to the lab.
All right, let's go.
And
Let's go to another one. I just want to see. You know what I mean? All right, let's go to Fox 30. Let's see how they play. Let's see how they play.
Tonight, a viral video shows a shocking interaction between local police officers and a driver. The reaction from an attorney as police launch an internal investigation. Now taking a live look downtown where the First Alert weather team is tracking some relief on the way after the hottest weekend of the year. Good evening, I'm Yona Gavino. A man who got video of Jacksonville sheriff's officers pulling him out of his car and hitting him has now hired high-profile lawyers. We told you at 6:30 about the video that has started a JSO investigation and has tens of thousands of people reacting online. Action News Jack's Nicholas Brooks is live at the Jacksonville sheriff's office. Nicholas, the man who represented George Floyd's family, is going to represent him.
George Floyd?
Yeah, and lawyers confirmed the man's name as William McNeil Jr. He said that he hired Ben Crump and Harry Daniels. And we also spoke for attorney ourselves, who said if the video tells the whole story, then the man may have a case against JSO. And we warn you, the video you're about to watch may be disturbing to some.
I will say that video seems very over the top in terms of the officer's behavior.
Chris Carson is one of thousands of people reacting tonight to a video that has started a JSO investigation. The video shows a February 19th traffic stop. According to William McNeil Jr., it all started when an officer pulled him over, claiming he needed to have his headlights on in cloudy weather.
I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather.
The driver says he questioned the stop and asked for a supervisor. That's when things escalated.
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
An officer breaks the car window and hits the driver in the face. The driver puts his hands up and asks, "What's going on?" But then another punch is thrown. Carson says the officer's use of force appears unjustified.
I mean, it doesn't even sound like there was really any criminal behavior that was alleged on the part of the gentleman. I mean, it's a traffic stop. Happened hundreds of times a day.
The video does not end there. Officers then take him to the ground. The driver said he got a chipped tooth, 9 stitches in his lips, a concussion, and even had short-term memory loss after.
There definitely are circumstances where force can be warranted, but from everything that we're seeing in the context of this video, I don't really see it there. Frankly, it seems unnecessary.
JSO released a statement Sunday saying it has launched an internal investigation into the incident. Carson says the legal issues go beyond just policy violations. He believes civil action may be possible or even criminal charges.
We have seen cases over the years, I've handled cases where law enforcement officers are actually charged with crimes for things that they did in the course of their police work. That is something, albeit it's rare, but it certainly legally can happen.
We did look to see if McNeil was facing charges. A man with the same name arrested that day pleaded guilty to driving with a suspended license and resisting an officer. And he also was charged with marijuana possession, not having his headlights on, nor his seatbelt. Full of coverage you can count on, reporting live in Jacksonville.
Yeah, you notice they always got to hit a black person with marijuana to make it justified. So I'm going to keep y'all updated on the story, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep y'all updated on this stuff, man. It just, boy, I tell you, it's always something. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Another PSYOP, baby. PSYOPs keep coming. PSYOPs keep coming, y'all. I'm telling you.
Now we want to go back to our developing story, that speeding car that rammed into a big crowd outside an East Hollywood nightclub.
Dozens are injured, many of them in critical condition. Let's go back out to KCAL News reporter Elise Martinez. She is live outside the club where it happened. Elise.
Yes, good morning. We are talking to police, learning new information. They now say they are investigating this as an intentional act. Now, people were leaving the club at 2 a.m. as it had closed, waiting for their cars and their Ubers right here on the street, getting some tacos. When police say the driver made a U-turn on Santa Monica and came down Vermont and slammed into people on the street. Let's take a look at some cell phone video from the scene. The call came in just before 2 a.m. Police say a man drove into the crowd, hitting that taco truck and valet stand as well, injuring dozens of people. We still don't know why. Initial reports say he was kicked out of a nearby business, but police tell me that is not confirmed yet. They are still looking into that. Police say bystanders dragged the driver out of the vehicle and attacked him. Take a listen to police talk about what happened next and the condition of the suspect.
We received reports that somebody in the crowd shot him, and he was transported to the hospital. He's undergoing surgery. He is in stable condition. However, he is not free to leave. He is in the custody of Los Angeles Police Department, and we're looking at charges such as attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon at this point.
And police say they are looking for a male Hispanic, 5'9", wearing a blue jersey. They believe he shot the driver of the car during that melee with the crowd. At least 30 people were injured, 7 in critical condition, 6 in serious condition, 23 people taken to local hospitals. We talked to police. They said the victims are in their 20s and 30s, 18 females and 12 males were injured. Now, Karen Bass issued a statement saying it's a heartbreaking tragedy and a full investigation into what happened is underway. And we are learning new details as this all unfolds. Police are asking anyone with video, photos, anyone who saw anything to please come forward and give them some clues. I'm going to send it back to you.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's really wild stuff, man. Damn. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. You know, a lot of psyops going on. I wanted to play that what happened the other day in California where the so-called accident. The accident were like 3 at the sheriff's department or something like that out here in California. I wanted to play that. You know. All right, my bad. Let's play this real quick, man. I already told you about this dude. You know what I'm saying? This is a straight hoax right here. You know, Luigi thing. We'll just call it the Luigi thing. You know what I'm saying? Hold up.
Made up a court date, May 23rd, 2025, and drafted a fraudulent subpoena that if Aetna did not provide documents on that date, it would be in contempt of court. But this is not the first violation, in my view, illegal violation that the New York prosecutors have carried out against Mangione. They also accidentally eavesdropped on his phone calls with his attorneys. Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup.
This is Ashley with Status Coup.
On the ground.
In Philadelphia.
Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup. Prosecutors in the New York case against Luigi Mangione, the alleged shooter of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, made up fake court dates to illegally steal Mangione's full medical records, thus violating his HIPAA medical rights. That is the claim and argument that Mangione's legal defense team has made in an explosive and I think bombshell court filing just yesterday. This is pretty big news. As part of it, Mangione's attorneys are seeking remedies, including dismissing the entire indictment against him in the state of New York. Let me give you the overview here. Again, this is in Mangione's New York case, not his federal case, but it could have ripple effects. Mangione accuses prosecutors of fudging subpoena for his health records.
Smile California makes it easy to find a dentist that accepts Medi-Cal. Just visit smilecalifornia.org, click the Find a Dentist button, then click the Provider Directory search link. Select the distance and enter the zip code. Choose the preferred language from the list. Select Show.
Luigi Mangione's defense team lambasted Manhattan prosecutors on Thursday for, quote, plainly lying on a subpoena to nab their clients' confidential health records. Mangione is currently awaiting a pair of murder trials after he was accused of gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December. Quote, the district attorney falsely made up a court date, May 23rd, 2025, and drafted a fraudulent subpoena that if Aetna did not provide documents on that date, it would be in contempt of court. Mangione's claims in a New York Supreme Court document filed yesterday. Before I get to this specific document, I want to give you the broader context because there's been so many moving parts with this case, and I've been trying to keep up on it, but obviously we've been covering the ICE Gestapo prison known as Alligator Alcatraz and other things. But this is not the first violation, in my view, illegal violation that the New York prosecutors have carried out against Mangione.
So what's the gain? What's the gain of them doing that? What's the gain? That's my thing. What would they have to gain to do that? What's so big about this guy, Luigi Mangione? What's so big about him? He just killed a CEO of health worker, a president of CEO of healthcare. What's the big deal? They make it seem like he killed a politician, or they make it seem like this dude killed. I mean, come on. I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I just think this thing is a whole hoax with this conspiracy Luigi thing all together. I don't even really believe it's real, to be honest with you. I'm being keep it real. I think a lot of this stuff is psyops. I think a lot of this stuff is staged. A lot of this stuff is, you know what I mean? These is really something that they want. They really want to really try to bring stuff and bring these narratives and stuff like this to a higher place, man. That way to basically confuse you and keep you in a state of mental chaos. You see what I'm saying? While keeping you distracted, doing other things with these laws and these policies and all this and that. So I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't agree. Status Quo. The show's all right. I didn't agree with some things on there and a lot of the stuff, but I don't agree with this. I just think it's a whole hoax. This Luigi thing, we already seen that he an IMDb actor and producer. This dude comes from a billionaire family. Just none of this makes any sense. I just think a lot of this stuff is staged. They're talking about doing all this and that, and they are corrupted and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but nah, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? His lawyer just happened to be Puff Daddy's lawyer, one of the Puff Daddy's first lawyers, fucking wife, and it's like, God, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like to I'm just one of them dudes that kind of keeps an open mind when it comes to stuff like this. But this whole Luigi thing is a whole hoax.
You know what I'm saying? It's a stage, you know what I mean? That dude was an actor. You know, it don't look good to me. You see what I'm saying? What's the significance of all this coming out right now? You see what I'm saying? And then you got the Epstein files, and then they're not going to come out. But then you had the MLK, they released some of that, and it's just like, come on, man. Distractions. And then they try to make it seem like by releasing all this stuff, he's so transparent. The Trump administration is so transparent. They're so real. They're so from the grassroots. Excuse me, I don't believe none of this shit. It's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. We could go keep going with this and that. Let's go with this story. I got a couple. I'm not gonna play too much because I already know I'm gonna do a show tomorrow. I'm just gonna lay it down. I'm gonna play a lot of that.
We just got hit with a bombshell story that perfectly illustrates everything wrong with Democrat priorities. Chicago Public Schools just announced that they're laying off more than 1,400 teachers and staff members, including 432 teachers and 677 special education classroom assistants. But here's what's going to make you pissed off.
What kind of do? I mean, the Democrats are shady and known for doing shady stuff like that, and they're known for doing stuff like that. But I see through the bigger picture, and I'm just the Democrat, the left. I think from what I see right now, I'm gonna keep it real. From what I just seen right now, from what I see, I think all this is being done by design. Because he's not putting funding in certain he's taking funding out of certain education. He's taking funding out of cancer research. He's taking the funding out of Meals on Wheels, and he's taking funding Trump out of funding, extra funding for kids in schools and after school and stuff like that so I mean it kind of sounds all the same. You see what I'm saying? The Democrats are doing a little bit kind of something similar. See, that's why I be telling y'all, man, it don't really matter. Democrat or Republican, it's the same kind of policies, the same kind of taking from the people to me. That's what it seems like. I don't know. Maybe is it just me or you know what I mean? That's what it sounds like. It seemed like to me. So I mean, I don't know. I just think we just gotta be mindful, man, and just gotta be we gotta be mindful, man, and just because a lot of this stuff just don't add up to me. The same kind of policies that Trump is kind of talking about. It's kind of like it's crazy when the Democrats they'll get on the Republicans and accuse them of being this and that, and so cruel and this and that. When they take away funding, but the Democrats will do the same thing, but they'll do it in the city, or they'll do it in this. You know what I'm saying? On a state level, or on a city level. But they ain't gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then when the Republicans, do something on a federal level, they're so bad and they're meanies. Man, that shit is all bullshit theater, man. If y'all don't see through this by now, man, you gotta really look through it from a wider lens,
While they're firing teachers, Chicago has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal migrants, including $9,000 per migrant for rental assistance alone.
Chicago Public Schools just announced it's laying off more than 1,400 school-based employees. This includes 432 teachers and 677 special ed classroom assistants.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This is the perfect example of how Democrat leadership destroys American communities while prioritizing illegal immigrants over American children. They're literally firing special education teachers while handing out thousands of dollars to people who shouldn't even be in this country. Let me break down these absolutely devastating numbers for you. Chicago Public Schools is facing a $734 million budget deficit, and their solution is to fire people who actually educate American children. Here's what they're cutting: 432 teachers from the Chicago Teachers Union. 103 of those are special education teachers, 677 special education classroom assistants. That's way more than the 404 special education assistants that they cut last year.
CPS says this is part of its annual workforce planning and budgeting process. Historically, the district says more than 80% of impacted employees have secured new positions within CPS prior to the start of the school year.
Now they're trying to spin this as annual workforce planning, but let's be real, this is a crisis, and it's happening on top of the city's separate $1.14 billion annual deficit that Mayor Brandon Johnson is running.
The city of Chicago already dealing with a massive budget gap this year of almost $1 billion, and now Mayor Brandon Johnson is warning the problem is not going away next year or even the year after.
So we're talking about nearly $2 billion in combined deficits while they're firing teachers and special education staff. But somehow they found money for migrants. Now here's where it gets absolutely infuriating. While Chicago is firing 1,400 school employees, they've been spending massive amounts of money on illegal migrants. The city put $4 million toward migrant housing assistance. The state added $38 million, and they're paying up to $9,000 per migrant for rental assistance.
State is footing the bill for what they call temporary housing, apartments and homes that are rented out for migrants. The state is paying on the high end $9,000 in rental assistance over a 6-month period of time.
Did you catch that? Up to $9,000 per migrant. And that's just for 6 months worth of rent.
That's correct. See, so honestly, I don't really. How come I don't really hardly see people protesting against stuff like this? I don't really see it. We protest. I see people protest, but see, that lets you know a lot of this stuff. These protests be fake and staged. But why are we not in the streets and all city to city, state to state, protesting this? Because this is crazy. Right. Basically, discrimination, open discrimination, and misallocating the funds. But my thing is, why are you giving them money and paying rent for them for what though? Well, see, so they can get over you, so they can live better than you. I'm telling you, so they can live better than you in America. I'm telling you, even if you do have a job, whatever the case is, you still live in paycheck to paycheck in most cases of most Americans. Let's just be real. Let's keep it 100. Am I right? I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a trip, man. For the most part, man. It's sad. We're desensitized. Let's just keep it real.
They're getting up to $99,000 in total assistance. Meanwhile, they're firing special education teachers who help American children with disabilities.
With that,
They're the new working class. They're the new working class. They're the new working force. They're going to be the new working force, not you. That's why they're getting funded, and that's why they do that. And that just goes to show the future or whatever your kids. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna put these people's future kids over your future kids. That makes sense? Or your kids' future, excuse me. I mean, I don't know. I just think this shit is crazy, man. Let's go.
That comes help moving in and a starter kit to furnish the apartment.
That rent lasts for 6 months, and ideally people would have started their legal process, secured legal work authorization, and then be able to sustain that apartment.
Join the Vancouver Coastal Health Team in Canada and discover a team that's connected. By support.
Like I said, once again,
they're basically giving migrants starter kits.
This makes people pick and choose. This people give certain people sympathy and empathy over other people. This stuff is just it's a psychological experiment too. I'm gonna play a little bit of Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur in a little while, what she had to say.
She was breaking it down
to furnish apartments while American children lose their teachers. The city has received more than 15,000 migrants since August 2022 alone, and 30% of them are children who are now attending Chicago public schools. This is just adding to the burden while they cut the staff.
We have no more room. Y'all are embarrassing Chicago as a whole.
According to analysis by the ABC7 data team, there are more than 20 active migrant shelters across the city.
So what does Mayor Brandon Johnson do when confronted with this disaster? He blames everyone but himself. Listen to this pathetic excuse.
So I'm going to put forth a budget and a vision that reflects our investments in workforce, housing.
Gracias, gracias, gracias.
Did you hear that? He's talking about investments in the workforce and housing while firing 1,400 school employees. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Pandering to the Latino community while destroying education for all Chicago children. The Chicago Teachers Union is now begging the state for help, calling on Pritzker to bail them out. But here's what the CTU president had to say about the cuts.
These cuts are severe as they are perverse, and we won't let it stand, and neither should a governor, especially one that wants to fight these Trump attacks on working families.
We're not just reducing staff, we're removing the lifelines for some of the most marginalized students in our classrooms.
See, they know there's a lot of black kids, though. That's the thing, right? They know there's a lot of black people in Chicago. That's when this is going to go for a lot of black kids. That's what that is. It's that simple. I mean, I hope we see what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I hope we see the agenda. They know it's a lot of black, but see, Obama and them did it the same with, did something similar to when Rahm Emanuel. They shut down a gang of schools, and when Obama was in there, when Rahm Emanuel was the mayor of Chicago. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the governor of Chicago. So
it's for marginalized students while they're giving lifelines worth of thousands of dollars to illegal immigrants. The hypocrisy is absolutely staggering.
Please do not balance the budget on the back of kids with disabilities.
They're literally balancing the budget on the backs of disabled children while funding migrant housing. This is what Democrat priorities look like in action. Now they're trying to blame President Trump for their budget crisis. The CTU claims Trump is withholding $6 billion in federal education grants. But let's be honest about what's really happening here.
The early morning news conference comes as the Trump administration recently notified states that it's withholding more than $6 billion in federal education grants for schools. The previously approved funding was set to help pay for after-school programming, student support services, teacher training.
Trump is withholding federal money from sanctuary cities that refuse to cooperate with immigration enforcement. Chicago chose to be a sanctuary city. Chicago chose to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal migrants. And now Chicago wants to blame Trump when there's consequences. Meanwhile, Johnson is joining the lawsuit against Trump's immigration enforcement.
To know that there are people that are coming together, whether it's Los Angeles, Chicago, and other places around the country that are pushing back against this authoritarian government, there's hope there.
He's calling Trump authoritarian while firing teachers to fund illegal migrants. The cognitive dissonance is incredible here. Here's how pathetic this has gotten. They're now holding community meetings asking regular citizens to solve their budget crisis. The new interim CEO, Dr. King, is literally begging the community for ideas.
We have not engaged our stakeholders in the fullest over the years, and this is an opportunity to find out what might actually be out there as an innovative solution.
Innovative solutions from the community? How about this for an innovative solution? Stop spending hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal migrants and use that money for American children's education instead.
Our priority is protecting the classrooms.
Big ideas don't come easy.
I tell you, man.
But when you get one,
That is first and foremost.
While the Chicago Teachers Union and CTU-backed school board members are adamantly against cuts in schools, Dr. King says closing the budget hole will take a combination of solutions, possibly new revenue, cuts, and borrowing.
Protecting classrooms by firing 1,400 school employees. New revenue means higher taxes on residents who are already fleeing the city. Borrowing means more debt for future generations to pay off. The most powerful moment in all of this came came from the South and West Side residents who were finally speaking out against this absolute insanity.
These South and West Side homeowners are angry. They believe the city has overextended itself and should be putting the tens of millions of dollars earmarked for migrants into Chicago's most vulnerable neighborhoods.
These are people who have been abandoned by Democrat leadership for decades, and now they're watching their tax dollars go to illegal immigrants while their children lose their teachers.
But the South Side has been under-resourced, underfunded for years, for decades. We have schools that need to be reopened. We have buildings that are abandoned that need to.
So you know what I don't like when stuff like this happens. Everybody's desensitized because they know that it's black people. When the federal government gives the Board of Education money, a lot of that money doesn't make it to the schools or other places. That's true. Or being paid, and then yeah, I mean, but at the same time, but Chicago school's been messed up since Obama, since before, man, for the longest time. Honestly, that the Fed and the state are, in my opinion, the Fed or the state are involved, and they know there's some black kids. You know, they know some black kids, so they know that people don't care. A lot of other people don't care, man. People don't care. These politicians don't care. These pastors, these preachers, politicians, they don't, so why should they? You see what I'm saying? That's the area where it is predominantly black. So, I mean, they look at it like, why even, you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's messed up, man. We're dispensable. We're disposable. The kids are disposable. The adults are disposable. I mean, if they're not giving no resources and not doing nothing like that for the kids, they're definitely not going to be doing nothing like that for the adults. If they're not going, to treat you right, they're not going to teach you right. I mean, I don't understand why we're desensitized as people. To me, though, from what I could see, from what from my, being 41 years old, from what me seeing, it's crazy. It's sad. I just think man, we got to really do something about this, man. We really got to do something about this, man. What are we going to do about, you see what I'm saying? But it's like, it's too late, because when something is normal in learned behavior, man, and what else is there? You see what I'm saying? It's already programmed in your mind. It's already programmed into your habit, because us as so-called human beings, people, we're a creature of habitat and habit. You see what I'm saying? So I look at it from that way too, from that perspective. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So I mean, that's how I look at it. You see what I'm saying? I look at it from a couple different ways, man, and a couple different aspects. So I'm gonna let them cook the rest, and I got a couple more videos. About to get off.
Be business operated.
We are taxpayers. We are property owners. Our money should go towards fixing our community, but instead it goes to migrants who shouldn't even be here.
Mayor Johnson, the black aldermen, the black alderwomen in this city, you will stand for the black citizens of Chicago.
This is what happens when Democrat politicians care more about virtue signaling than serving their actual constituents. America, this story perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with Democrat governance. They fire 1,400 teachers and school staff, including special education workers who help disabled children, while spending hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal migrants who shouldn't even be in our country. Chicago is running a $734 million school deficit and a $1.14 billion city deficit, but somehow they found $42 million for migrant housing assistance. They're giving individual migrants up to $9,000 for 6 months of rent, while American children lose their teachers. The South and West Side residents who have been loyal Democrat voters for decades are finally waking up and demanding that their tax dollars go to American communities instead of illegal migrants. But Mayor Brandon Brandon Johnson would rather join the lawsuit against Trump than fix his own city's problems. This is what happens when you elect Democrats who care more about illegal immigrants than American children, who prioritize virtue signaling over education, who would rather blame Trump than take responsibility of their own failures. This is exactly why Trump won, because Americans are tired of watching their tax dollars go to illegal migrants while their own communities crumble. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good one, man. Salute to him, but he's right. They do it for the votes. They do it for one side does it for the votes, one side does it for the labor. One side does it for the votes and for the census information. You know, so I'm play a little bit of Queen Amadaya real quick. She's on there. Let's go. Like 20 something. And then let's go. Salute to Queen Amadaya
on
Shakur.
YouTube and other platforms.
Shout out to Queen Amadaya Shakur. Check out her channel. Real informative. Should be spitting a lot of real good information. Check her out, all right?
According to Balani. So from a business perspective, the cancellation makes sense. Balani said the sources he spoke with at CBS and Skydance Media, the company that is set to buy the network's parent company, Paramount Global, as part of an $8 billion merger, insist that Colbert's cancellation was based on economics, not politics, pointing to the decision to give his show a 10-month extension to May of 2026 instead of pulling the plug immediately as evidence. Still, two other people with deep ties to CBS Late Show suspect otherwise. After all, when a network decides that a show is too expensive, executives typically go to the key talent and ask them to take pay cuts, or they fire people or otherwise slash costs. What they don't do is cancel the show. See, that didn't happen here. Though with Colbert, he was said to be making $15 million and $20 million per year. A pay cut wouldn't have solved the problem on its own, they say. The veteran entertainment journalist went on to suggest that political motivations could be in play if Paramount goes on to also cancel The Daily Show, which airs on CBS's sister cable network, Comedy Central, but stressed, for now, I cautiously and skeptically believe that this was mostly an economic decision. Yeah, well, I don't think so. Now, that said, Balani asked whether this was the dam bursting in late night or broadcast television, suggesting that Jimmy Kimmel at ABC, as well as Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers at NBC, could be next. Says, I've sensed that the networks have all been reluctant to be the first to pull the trigger on a cancellation in the historic time slot. CBS has now fired the opening shot, and it's reasonable to suspect that NBC and ABC will follow, according to Baloney. Well, we'll see. So, no, I wouldn't sleep well tonight if I were Kimmel or Fallon, though both have larger digital footprints and do a lot more for their respective networks. Fallon and Myers have also been protected by Lorne Michaels, who produces both their shows. Although I wonder if even Lauren might recognize that the 12:30 slot is increasingly not viable and the sacred cows of television are being slaughtered one by one. Do y'all hear this? CBS said in its statement Thursday announcing the cancellation that it was purely a financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night, adding that it is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. In a somber message breaking the news to his studio audience, Colbert said the folks at CBS have been great partners. However, he struck a vastly different tone on Monday when slamming Paramount's recent settlement with Trump. Saying, I believe this kind of complicated financial sentiment with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's called a big fat bribe, because it all comes comes as Paramount's owners are trying to get the Trump administration to approve the sale of our network to a new owner, Skydance.
Interesting.
There have also been concerns within Paramount that not settling Trump's lawsuit would halt its Skydance merger, which needs the approval of the FCC. You all hear that? I find this all interesting. Greta Lee says people better rise up and take a stand before it's too late. Silence is complicit.
Man, facts.
Miss AP says, no crying, no dying. Politicians lying. Everybody's trying to make a dollar. Makes me want to holler the way they do my life. Okay? I know that's right, said Marvin Gaye. Monty said, Trump thinks he's God Almighty. He absolutely does. He absolutely does. Greta Lee said they canceled the Late Show because Trump threatened to halt the merger. Exactly. That's exactly what I think happened. Okay, I just want you all to pay attention because these are some of the things that Trump is quietly doing behind the scenes. And we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein and that whole situation going on with that. But there are other more nefarious things afoot. Okay? Because Stephen Colbert's show was one of the most successful on CBS. And they say now they're just going in a different direction. Why would you get rid of one of your best money makers? This is a serious power move by Trump. I want you all to pay attention. You see, Trump is playing political mind games. That's what he's doing. He's getting back at all his political enemies and all of that at once. Yep. He is running this country just like a mob boss. That's what he's always done. And he's doing even more so now because now it seems almost to me as if he's got the Supreme Court in his pocket or something. Okay? I find it also interesting. And then people getting snatched up off the streets like we're in Nazi Germany. Please pay attention. This is all crazy. Now, they have been saying that they're giving all this money to ICE. They said that they're giving all these billions of dollars to ICE. What do you all think about that? I think that sounds really suspect. Okay?
Well, yeah.
I think that all sounds really suspect.
Why would you fund ICE more than the military? Does that something don't sound right? Why would you fund them more than the military? You see what I'm saying?
What are they giving ICE, allocating all this money to ICE for? And then they have masked people who don't announce themselves coming up and snatching people up off the streets. Like
that's another thing. I never really looked at it like that, but that's an interesting fact or point. Why are these ICE people and these federal agents, why do they have masks on? Why can't you see their face? It's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it. Why can't you know what I'm saying? You can't, is there a badge name and number and, face? And it's like, it's weird. You see what I'm saying? I just think that's kind of weird, man. Like, you should know, what I'm saying? The person should be held accountable that's arresting you or taking you into custody or detaining you. You should be, there should be a face, a name, a number, everything. Right?
Like they're kidnapping them. Okay? Billions in bonuses to ICE. Let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Billions in bonuses to ICE? For what?
Good point.
For what? Well, so here's what they say. They talk about, number one, massive budget increases. ICE has received billions in funding in recent years through congressional appropriations, okay, supplemental emergency funding tied to border crises. Now, this money is supposed to go towards hiring and retaining agents, expanding detention facilities, private prison, and contractor payments. Some of these allocations look like bonuses because of retention and recruitment bonuses for ICE officers and contractors, overtime and hazard pay during high-stress periods like border surges, performance-based contract incentives to private prison companies.
Private prison companies?
What do y'all think about that?
Sound like some private money
I
laundering.
absolutely think this is just another way. Now, this is just my opinion, and I can't substantiate it, but I actually think this is a way for the government to perhaps launder money. Okay?
I can see
That's
that.
what I think this is all about. The government's way of laundering money through ICE by acting like they need it for all of these deportations. And pay attention to how Trump keeps talking about invasions. Okay? Make it all make sense. So here's the thing. Now, ICE is set to pay out billions in hiring and retention bonuses, supposedly, thanks to a large funding boost from Congress, mind you. Okay? First off, one big, beautiful bill. Let's talk about it. Passed in early July of 2025, this massive budget reconciliation package allocated nearly $170 billion to immigration and border enforcement efforts. Specifically for ICE, it provided $45 billion to expand detention capacity, $29.9 billion for enforcement and deportation ops, plus $860 million earmarked explicitly for ICE hiring and retention bonuses. Now, they also have signing and returning employee bonuses. You see, ICE is offering up to $50,000 in signing bonuses to retired agents who joined the agents or who rejoined the agency, capitalizing on a federal provision allowing dual compensation. Okay, salary and annuity. Highlights include these lucrative incentives aimed squarely at rapidly ramping up staff numbers.
Wow.
Now let's break it down. Retention and signing incentives add up to hundreds of millions annually for existing employees. When combined with the $50,000 for the re-entry bonus, it's estimated to total in the high hundreds of millions to over $1 billion. Taken together with infrastructure and personnel funding, it's clear ICE, traditionally a smaller agency, is now among the best paid federal law enforcement branches by budget allocation. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? I want you all to pay attention. Now, like Reggie said, that's a whole lot of cash. Exactly. Sounds like money laundering to me.
No.
Okay, under the guise of deportation. They claim to be addressing staffing shortages, saying that ICE needs more deportation and detention officers to meet its expanded mandate under the bill. To bolster enforcement capacity. You see, these bonuses help quickly fill vacancies and incentivize experienced staff to return or stay. So basically, in a nutshell, ICE isn't pocketing the cash, they say.
Interesting.
They claim ICE isn't pocketing the cash. It's simply dispersing billions in bonuses and expanded salaries as part of a broader strategy to rapidly scale up operations. That's all they're doing, folks. Nothing to see here. You see, that's what's fueling headlines about billions in ICE bonuses. Okay. I find it all so interesting.
Wow.
I find it all so interesting. Don't you? See, this is what Trump is doing behind the scenes, quietly. Putting all kind of nefarious things in play. Now, with that all being said, let's do the funding comparison and a summary of broader implications of ICE getting these billions in bonuses and expanded funding. So, Now, for the 2025 budget, it was at $60 billion. With the bonuses and incentive spending, that's another $1 to $2 billion, which is the largest boost in agency history, which they claim, again, is targeted at rehiring and retention, mind you. And then the Customs and Border Protection, that's $38 billion for the 2025 budget.
Interesting.
But with the incentives, another $400 million, which they say is for border security, infrastructure, and hiring. And then there's the FBI, let's not leave them out, who had a budget of $12 billion, and now another $100 million with the incentive spending for smaller scale bonuses focused on tech and cybercrime staffing. And then the DEA, let's not forget, they had $3.5 billion for 2025's budget. And now with the incentives, they're getting the minimal. And this is focused more on equipment and surveillance than personnel. Now, then you have the ATF, who's also getting minimal from the incentives. They originally had a $1.8 billion budget for 2025, and now they're struggling to retain agents due to lower pay competitiveness. And then the U.S. Marshal Service, $4 billion for 2025's budget with moderate incentives, includes high-risk assignments incentives. So ICE is now better funded, you guys, than the FBI, the DEA, and ATF combined in annual budgets, making it one of the most powerful law enforcement agencies by sheer source or resource allocation. Do y'all hear this?
I heard it.
Do y'all hear this? I want you all to pay attention, honey. I want you all to pay attention. Vince I am from the UK said, has Trump finished building the wall now? What wall? Okay. Does he even still mention that wall, beloved? I find this all interesting. See, I was up late last night thinking about all the BS that Trump's been up to. When I was doing some more research on him and Epstein, and I was like, he's doing some other stuff too. Let me just see what else he's up to. Because this whole Epstein thing could just be a distraction at the end of the day. This is all crazy. When I tell you all, Trump is slowly taking away rights and privileges. But let's talk some more about the big, beautiful bill, because I think that there's a lot of things about this bill.
Break it down.
That people just don't know. So let's get into it. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. So remember how they were talking about no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime? Remember all of that? Now, with that all being said, let's get to the good part. So here's the thing. Now, the federal One Big Beautiful Act, which was signed into law, for those of you who don't know, July the 4th of 2025, officially eliminates federal income taxes on tips and overtime pay, but only for 3 years. Okay, did y'all know that? It only goes until December the 31st of 2028.
But meanwhile, the tax breaks for the rich, those are permanent. Let's keep it 100. You know, those are permanent.
Okay, did you all know that? Did you all know that it's not permanent, it's only for 3 years? Okay, employees who regularly receive tips, you know, like servers, bartenders, hairstylists, delivery drivers, etc., can now deduct up to $25,000 of cash or charge tips annually from their federal taxable income, up to $25,000. This benefit begins with the 2025 tax filings filed in 2026 and phases out for incomes over $150,000 or $300,000 for joint filers. Okay. It only applies to federal income tax. Tips are still subject to Social Security, Medicare, and potentially state and local taxes. State tax treatment varies, as you know. Now, as far as the overtime, the no tax on overtime, workers receiving FLSA mandated overtime pay, time and a half for hours over 40 hours a week, can deduct up to $12,500 or $25,000 for joint filers from federal taxable
I
income.
might have to do another
Did you all know
whole
this?
video about that.
Only
About
cover
Obama doing that. Yeah, that was wild. Obama's crazy, man. All of them are crazy. I'm not, like I said, man, I don't fuck with none of them, man. It's all bullshit, man. It's all a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Politics, period, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all to make sure you don't get shit and they get everything, man. The Godfather movie showed you how the politics shit really works. These movies show you how these politics really work. You buy motherfuckers off, there it is. That's just all it is. And if you gotta look at it like this, we're not buying the politicians off like they are. You see what I'm saying? So the politicians are going to continue to keep doing stuff for them. You see what I'm saying? And then the shareholders are the people that the politicians are basically doing the favors for. You see what I'm saying? So
the half premium portion of
a
overtime.
couple different ways we could,
Okay.
a couple different angles we could go with that.
So basically 0.5 times the pay above base rate. Double time or state contractual overtime, like California's daily overtime. That does not qualify, just for an example. Now, this all starts at the 2025 tax year, phased out over income thresholds, same as tips. It expires December 31st of 2028. Okay? You all see what I'm talking about here? See, Trump thinks he's slick because he knows that when he does this kind of stuff, most people aren't going to read the fine print, are not going to delve too deeply into it. They're just going to hear the good parts that he's always talking about. Okay? What people don't seem to realize is that actually, with this sort of policy in mind, in place, you'll probably end up just barely breaking even or may even end up with less money. And why would you do that? Well, because we're paying more in taxes for food and gas and other things. And this is all due to the tariffs that Trump put in place. Okay? This is all due to the tariffs that Trump put in place.
And you gotta look at it like
I said, you probably just break even, or you might even come out on the short end of the stick. But it definitely is not going to help you.
No, it's not like,
in the long run.
It's not like the shit went down and then he put the tariffs in. You gotta look at it like and take into consideration the food and everything. It was already high already before he put the tariffs in. Everything, the food, keep it 100. The food prices haven't really gone down since the pandemic. So, it's a triple, double, quadruple tax on the consumer. I'm telling you, man. Walmart, they went up on their prices just because. And they say Walmart, they might lay off 1,600 workers. So, I mean, I see a pattern in a lot of this shit, man. It's just like, make a huge profit, then lay off. You see what I'm saying? That's how usually it works. You know what I mean?
And in fact, another thing is most people don't receive tips, and then many people are going to absolutely need to work overtime to stay afloat. Claudette said, so basically he duped his voters. Typical. Exactly. Isn't that what he always does? Is lies just to be lying? And you know who are the main people that are responsible for Trump and his rise to power and his nefariousness? It is people like Elon Musk. It is people like Elon Musk. Oh, yeah, he's mad at Trump now and wants to try and expose him for the Epstein files and all that. But it's people like Elon Musk. And I want you all to pay attention because there are a lot of Elon Musk that have backed Trump. And we need to be boycotting all of these people. See, we need to start calling out these rich people who sit there and control government behind the scenes with their power, money, and influence. Okay, see, the thing about Trump is Trump is an opportunist. He doesn't give a darn about this country or the people in it. All he cares about is himself. Because that's what opportunists do. They only care about themselves and what's going to benefit them.
All the politicians like that.
So with that all being said,
motherfuckers don't give a shit about that.
Partially the people that are responsible for Trump's rise to power and the nefarious things that he's doing right now are people like Elon who give him all of these donations. Remember that $250 million, wasn't it, that Elon gave him for his campaign? See, these people do this so they can be behind the scenes telling Trump what to do, giving him ideas and getting things passed that's going to benefit them. We need to start calling those people out. Now, they called out Elon because Elon was blatantly right in our faces doing it. These other people, they do it in the dark of night, behind closed doors. Whispered deals that nobody knows about unless they were in the room to witness it. You see, we need to start calling these people out. Conducting investigations to find out exactly who is putting the money in Trump's hands, who's greasing his palms. That's my next order of business. Please pay attention. Because at the end of the day, Trump is running the government like a mob boss, and
That's a good point, Doc Boss. That's how you know it's a scam. How are they going to keep up with records with tips? That's a good point. And how would people not going to be honest? A lot of people ain't going to tell. Let me track these tips. Hell no. Most of us going to keep pocketing that shit. And my question is, do people really make $25,000 in tip? Are we talking about a year and a 6-month period? What kind of period are we talking about in general? I mean, I don't know. I got questions. I don't know.
Fattening his pockets,
you know what I'm saying,
and setting things in place so he can be a whole dictator.
Yes, we do. We do.
That's what he's doing.
Dog ball. We need to separate from government. That's fact.
I mean, you got people jumping out. These people that are ICE agents, you have these people jumping out without mask or with mask on, not identifying themselves and all kind of craziness.
All right, I'm going to play the rest of this tomorrow, but she's right. That's a good point. Why these dudes, these ICE dudes, why are they all covered up? Why are they masked up? That's a good point. We got to think about it. Let me play a little bit of this Obama thing, man. Thanks for reminding me of it. I don't want to play from the start, but damn. Yeah, Obama's wild for this one. That's super wild. Let me see. This dude Obama, man. Photo. All right, salute to this sister right here, man. Shout out to salute to.
Let's be honest. No one enjoys filling out job applications. It's repetitive, it's slow, and it takes way too much time.
Really wild.
That's exactly.
So apparently we've been doing it wrong, you guys. Who knew? Who knew that to raise emotionally intelligent boys that they needed gay friends? I mean, I was today years old when I learned that. Not wisdom, no, not fathers, not faith, not a strong a male role model rooted in truth. No, just sprinkle in some LGBTQ representation and boom, you've got yourself a wholesome man. Y'all, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Barack Hussein Obama, the melanin messiah himself. Y'all, he said this on a podcast with Michelle, of all places. And once again, we've got a whole lot of foolishness masquerading as wisdom, and Barack and Michelle Obama are once again telling on themselves. Y'all, let's get into it. Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I am your host, April Chapman, and today I want to welcome you to the show. And y'all, we have to sift through some cultural chaos and analyze who in the hell left the gate open. Like, I did not see this on my bingo card. So what we're going to talk about today is the most recent word salad tossed together by our former commander-in-chief, Barack Hussein Obama. And he recently joined his wife. I'm assuming they're still calling themselves husband and wife now. He joined Michelle Obama's podcast to embarrass himself some more and to address parenting and what he defines as masculinity. And he talked about what he believes it takes to raise competent boys. And the conversation, it started off actually pretty decent with some really good parenting advice. He talked about how choosing Michelle was really part of the battle or half the battle. And he talked about the importance of who you pick to raise your children with matters. They talked about structure and love and consequences and boundaries, all of the things that used to be considered normal before the Instagram therapist told us to validate feelings first while your toddler's tearing up Target and you just put them in timeout. I don't know anything about that though, because see, I'm old school. Right? Like, I'm from the I will knock you into next week generation. That's how I grew up. But this video is not about me. We are talking about Obama.
Yeah, facts.
So Obama said,
they
you
gonna keep
can't
track on no
act
damn
stupid
tip.
in public. You can't whine.
That shit
You
is all
can't
your
throw
that's your
tantrums.
pocket.
And
That's
I was
good.
like, you know what? I agree.
A fact.
I agree. But then I thought about it and I said, respectfully, President Obama, are we talking about your daughters or are we talking about the Democrat Party? Because based on what we've seen lately from the left, the left represents an entire generation of professional tantrum throwers who think that.
I think that the left are the tantrum throwers, and I think Trump, the president, is throws the tantrums. Does that make sense? But the left, and then see, in the left, it's funny how they'll talk about how the right, is doing this and that, but doesn't try to stop it. It's just like it's just all political theater, man. It's all political theater, man. Yo, BJ, what up? What up, man?
Yo, what's going on, man? How you doing, man?
Just chilling, man. What's good with you, man? You did that playlist? That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Playlist. I took a shower too because it's like if I'm gonna get up at 5 in the morning, I might well do it now. But listen, so I took a shower. I heard the show with the officer and stuff like that. But because I didn't want to get up at 5:30 in the morning to do it, so I just said, let me go ahead and knock this thing out now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some Stevie Wonder, some songs like that, like Drummers Beat, Temptations, all this other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
60 of those, so these things gotta be played. But I listened to something that you said on there about those tips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this. You said how you record the tips, right?
My bad.
No, you good. I heard what you said. But here's the thing. You talking about tips, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I have people give me tips all the time. Sometimes it's $10, 15, 20, 50, sometimes it's 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time with the tip money, I'll be like, hey, my dad call them and say, hey man, somebody gave me some extra, here go $10. I might cash app you $5. I might cash app this person $5. I might do that. So what I'm saying, that is almost like a fool's go to track because I could give that money to anybody.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, you can write it off or whatever, or put it. But who to say that the tip money you get, you might be like anything extra, you can keep the change. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you talk about money, that's very easily um um yeah, you're right. Yep. That's right. Ain't no keep track of this only. But it is what it is. But like I always tell people, you just gotta know the rules and regulations of these things. And like she was saying, like a lot of people are not gonna read the fine print, right? But that's because, something I saw today, but it's not going on everywhere. It was a gas station yesterday. The gas was 284, right? But then this gas station up the street had just jumped to 329 today.
Damn.
But the gas station by my house was 280 or 279 or something. So a lot of times when they do things, they don't do things all at one time. And if they don't do it all at one time, if you don't go in that other area, you might not see that, right? And this ain't nothing but 5 to 10 minutes away from the house. Well, one of them is higher than the other, right? So what I'm saying is, they affect certain people at one time. Like I tell you, we've been getting a bunch of storms. You ain't been getting that, right? But who's to say it in the summer you might not get it? So when people listen to you, they say, well, it ain't my fault, it ain't my business, it ain't this, it ain't that. And like, you know what? Is you know what? You getting earthquakes in certain parts of the earth, and then you got a lot of stuff going on. So people just got to be more aware of their surroundings. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So that's all I'm gonna, touching you. But yeah, that tip thing, you're right. That's almost impossible to, track or whatever. But hey, man, look, so y'all gotta like figure it out. But that's good that you played what she said, and she's right. I don't think just to add to it, not that I agree with her, but she was talking about the people behind the scenes, right? Elon Musk ain't really that behind the scenes. Really, to tell you the truth, Peter Thiel's more behind the scenes than Elon Musk.
Facts. Facts.
And he's actually, um, people know who he is, but they really don't because he's more so in JD Vance, his vice president, who really they're probably gonna try to run for president, but at the same time,
I can see that.
but at the same time, with Peter Thiel being one of his main backers, JD Vance probably he's a little bit more dangerous than Donald Trump, to be honest with you. In some, because he don't talk about him that much unless he comes out for an appearance. And think about it. One time, JD Vance was just like Elon. He kind of just like Elon Musk. They was against Trump, but you realize all these guys, all of a sudden they start hanging out and being friends.
I peeped that. Even
So
Vance was talking greasy about Trump. And all of a sudden, you know
Well,
what
that
I'm saying?
mean that mean they never. No, that just mean they ain't never had no problem the whole time. That was for you. It's for the camera.
Facts.
Everybody getting paid.
Facts. Mm. It's just it's just like on YouTube. It's like how these dudes do on YouTube. They fake beef. It's called content. The fake beef drama. They make content on each other. You know what I'm saying? It'd be fake. It'd be played. They don't be real. They really have no problems with each other in real life. But you know, they run the plays because they know people like the drama.
Drama
You know what
sells.
I'm saying? Well, you know it does. You see what I'm saying? You know it does, man. You know. What you think about how she said that that those tax breaks and stuff like that is only no tax on tips and all that is only for 3 years. But you know that
I told you that. It ends in 2028 to 2029. Yeah. Matter of fact, 2029, I think, because I think some of that stuff don't even go into effect until 2026.
facts. So, but see, the thing is, um, but the tax breaks that he pushed on the rich, those are permanent. And the 2017 tax cuts, those are permanent. Nobody want to talk
Yep.
about that. You
Yep.
see how the misinformation. When it's funny, when 2021, 2022, when they were trying to hit us with misinformation, disinformation, look at the misinformation with this. Look how misinformed people are about this bill. Look how misinformed people are about the details. You see what I'm
Hey,
saying?
man.
Or selective. A
Can't help
lot of
me.
people are selective
Can't help
because
me. Can't help me. Can't help
mm-hmm.
being misinformed. That's on you, brother.
Mm. Mm.
You know, you took the time to read it. Somebody else didn't. It's okay.
Mm.
All right.
Facts.
So you can't worry about that part.
Mm.
So, yeah, man, I just wanted to break that down to you. So, yeah, man, just keep on reporting and stuff. And that's pretty cool. You know, I just heard that, and I said, you know what, this is kind of a folly goal. I mean, you know, it's kind of folly. But hey, man, hey, look, guess what? When people start complaining, just remember you had already reported it.
Facts. Okay, what
Take
you
your
think
time.
about what's the name? Okay, but look, what about the what's the name though? What about how the ICE? What you think about how these ICE agents? About how they're masked and they're not showing their face? What you think about that?
They might be what they call it, man, who to say they real ICE agents.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's exactly.
You know, because you know what? When the FBI coming knocking on your door or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be any FBI. It could be a police officer, FBI. It could be a DA. It could be a postal inspector. Anybody with a gun and a badge in the public,
Mm-hmm.
right? Ain't supposed to be having no damn mask on.
Facts. Facts. Mm.
Because if you ain't got no mask on, I can't identify who you is.
That's true. You see how we not? You see how we
You
not
have a
thinking, bro?
right. You have a right as a police. No, first of all, you have a right as a citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
When that police officer come to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a right to say, "Hey, man, let me see your badge. Who are you? I need to know who you is. I got to make sure you right." You ask me, "Am I right? Are you right?"
Mm.
Police officer ain't coming with no damn mask on, is it?
Good
You
point.
ain't think the police officer pull you over no mask unless it's doing COVID or something. But I'm talking about like,
That's a good point, bro.
but I'm talking about you get
Mm.
pulled over. A police officer coming to you with no goddamn mask,
That is crazy, bro.
right?
That's now you think about it, that's wild, man.
So
It's like,
I mean, that's something that I think the local authorities should take. But you probably would want to see these people out because I need to know if you right. you might not be no ICE agent. You might be somebody else.
Man. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, but you got to show your hands, and you're this and that. You have to give full cooperation to these people, but yet they don't even got to show who the fuck they are. Oh, I'm an ICE agent, though. I'm just some white motherfucker, you know, with this mask and this gear on, and I just happen to be an ICE agent because I'm just some white motherfucker with this mask and gear on. So therefore, I'm an ICE agent. That's burnt out, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not good enough. You some white guy with some gear on and a gun, and that's not good enough. I need to know who you are, bro. Do they have? I wonder if they have badge numbers. I wonder if they have information, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right? I mean, any kind of law enforcement supposedly. I hate that word, law enforcement. Those words. Any kind of law enforcement is supposed to have something. You see what I'm saying? You're right, man.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
but
just like.
yeah, man.
Okay, I wanted to play something else real quick. What you think about this? I wanted to play some of that thing with Obama, just a little bit of real quick, man. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
was already listening. I'm a go ahead and comment because I got to go to sleep because I got to give it 5:30, dude. But look, I'm gonna just say this, bro. Let me say this to you.
Break it
I
down.
don't heard it before. To me, it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, yeah, he said some good things, but come on, man. Like, I mean, you saying that everybody should have a gay friend. That's a little bit over the top and stuff like that. It's a little bit over the top. Well, it's way over the top. Cause I ain't nobody going with no, I ain't nobody falling for no shit like that. That's a little wild. But hey, man, they gonna show you what they pushing, right? Or what he pushing or whatever. But at the same time, not surprising. It is what it is. Cause my mom my mom would like, what the hell is she heard some shit like that? But yours would too. So like, look, like I said, it's a clown show, man. Enjoy the festivities. Hey, man, while you're reporting on the clown show, uh, when you get done, go check your cash app, man. Knock yourself out, bro.
Word, man. Good looking.
Hey, man. And tell the women,
Salute.
and, tell the women stop being around these clowns. Cause I'm gonna tell you that house party I went to the other day. Well, one year it was a cookout. My buddy that has it every year, but I think his daughter, uh, you know, she bring a lot of her friends over, and I said, "Damn, there's some fine women in here." One thing about them fine women, they surely do bring some Twinkies with them. I said, "This is some crazy shit." Yeah, like really, bro. Like I'm like, come on, man. Like, yo, just bring. I gotta tell these women, just bring the women, man. Don't bring the. I mean, you don't bring the Twinkies, please. No Twinkies. I don't like the cream. I don't like the cream filling anyway. I like nah, fuck that shit. Cause I mean, one of them. Hey, look, I'm standing there, and one of them just saying, "Go, girl." I'm like, oh my god, come on, bro. Like, but you know what? Hey, man, there's a lot of shit going on in that motherfucker. Hookahs, all that shit.
No, that shit sounds good.
There's champagne, yeah. I mean, you know, I'm like, yo, I don't know what happened, man, but I know when they cut that sexy red on, that shit went crazy. I saw
Oh.
your video, but yeah, I thought I saw the video, but yeah, y'all can give me a King BJ Johnson YouTube, Bernard Johnson, Bernard 11-120 Instagram, and 1987 BJ1 Twitter, man. Look, man, look. Let me say this, man. I always tell people, man, you got to be the difference. No more politicians. Doc Boss, 100% right. People need segregated government, but guess what? You know why they can't do it?
Hmm.
And remember, government is really government is governing men. But and then they steal it with the mint, right?
Thanks.
Because government only control those who want to be governed.
Thanks.
So You got to govern yourself, man. Can't be nobody else. Got to govern yourself. Get your house in order, brother. And guess what? And once you get the house in order, then you call somebody else to get the house in order.
Right.
Hey, look, man, shit, Frank, I'm be honest with you, no more. It's no more picking and choosing and being friends. Ain't no good guys, bad guys. Look here, man. That's how I look at it. If you're looking for a hero and a villain in this story, you might well go sit on goddamn on the Walk of Fame and shit. Matter of fact, I think Trump was on the Walk of Fame at one of these times, or Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well, come think about it. You know, I ain't really got too much into this Huxtable thing. But hey, look, man, when you're on the Walk of Fame, guess what? Hey, look, you got to be an actor to get in the Walk of Fame, so just put it out there. But take your time, bro.
All right, salute, man. Good looking out, man. Y'all can check out BJ
Yeah.
on his channel. You know what I'm saying? We be going up. We just had a show a little early. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. I'm about to get off here my damn self.
That activism means that they are supposed to cry on TikTok. But anyway, I digress. That was just a little side note. But after laying down some decent dad advice,
sovereignty. Is there a deeper meaning with it?
Obama, in true Obama fashion, y'all, this man took a whole sharp left turn into identity politics and said this. Take a listen to this clip.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out.
My thing is, who cares? I think that's the stupidest thing ever. Who cares what this dude's sexual preference was, bro? Like, that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's stupid. Like, we just get caught up on these labels and caught up on in these posting so much to where, you know what I'm saying, it's just ridiculous. You know, and then that lets you know that we're used to being controlled and we don't mind pushing the controlled narrative. You see what I'm saying? Who cares who this dude was sleeping with? I mean, he was a good professor. He was a good professor, right? You got to just happen to say the fact that he's gay. Like, I just think all this stuff is kind of getting to the point where it's getting kind of old, and this is definitely identity politics. You see what I'm saying? We know that's your base. We know you probably gay yourself. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's cool and everything, but you see, that lets you know that the Democrats' base is the immigrants and the gays, man. Straight up.
When I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right?
I just think none of this has anything to do with anything. To be honest with you, he's saying all this has nothing to do with anything. It's just some BS identity politics. That's their base. That's the Democrats' base. Like I said, them and the immigrants. I'm not really feeling none of this, man, to be honest with you. A lot of this stuff, all this stuff is just BS. You know what I'm saying? I think that we got to be pushing for some, a better economy and infrastructure back to this country, man, or so-called corporation. So if that's not going to happen, man, then what are we really talking about?
So that, I think, is creating that community. I know it's corny, but that's what they need.
And we said what now? Come again. Since when has that been a thing, sir? Let me repeat. Y'all, let me just repeat what he just said. He said one of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was from a gay guy. And he says he would call him out, and when he would start saying ignorant things, like he could count on this person to kind of check him. And he was like, you need that. You need that person in your friend group. And I'm like, so now we've gone from boys need dads to boys need gay friends. How did we get here? Can anyone Can anyone explain that? Did you see that on your bingo card today? Not I, said the cat. I surely didn't see that one coming. Why on earth would you say that? Where in the world of all things masculine do straight men say such things? They don't. I'm sorry. I don't care how metrosexual progressive you think you are. That's not normal. Because let me get this straight. Is Barack trying to tell us that the best way to keep your son from growing into a misogynist is to have him mentored by someone who wears skinny jeans and thinks that gender is a social construct? Is that what I was supposed to walk away from what we just heard? I don't know. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but it needs to be said masculinity is not toxic. And boys don't need to be mentored by gay men, and they definitely don't need to learn anything from them.
Salute to the sister April Chapman. Y'all can check out her channel. I'm about to get off here. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe. Salute. Share this to y'all social media. I'm about to get off here, man. I'm going to holler at y'all. I'm going to do a show tomorrow, too. I'm going to keep it going with the content, all right? So other than that, like, comment, subscribe, share me out. You know what I'm saying? Hit the notification bell to let you know next time I go on live. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, salute. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Peace, and I'm out. Till tomorrow.